Yeah, that's true.
I love that video.
Did you like it?
That's amazing.
So welcome. Hello, everybody. We are live. We are live with Stephanie. Whoop, whoop.
Yay!
Hi. I'm just going to share this live into our group because StreamYard doesn't like you to share into groups stream live into groups anymore, apparently.
Ah, that's annoying.
Isn't it just? So I'm going to share it there. I'm going to share it there. Done. And now I need to put it on so I can watch it, so I can see comments.
Things so complicated.
I know. Surely it should be getting easier, not harder.
Yeah.
You would think.
I wish.
Okay, I finished my tea. So we've got special guest this evening, Stephanie Hudson, author of Afterlife and HellBeast and Transfusion and Afterlife Academy and the Siren series and Imp and the Beast and Devil in Me and my husband, Jared.
Oh, Jared. Well, you did lick him first. What can I say?
I did. You wrote it in. I've got my copy of HellBeast King that you signed for me, and you did write in there, you licked him first, he is yours. So anytime anyone disputes the fact,
you've got it in writing. That's it. It's chiseled in stone. That's he's yours now. That's it.
He's my man.
Oh man, you just broke a few hearts, didn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, gotta love Jared. I mean,
I almost said your name. That just almost came out of my mouth.
I tell you, it's so strange because obviously I've seen your faces
many
before
times.
We've actually met. So yeah, this was it's funny just to see your pictures, like your very cool, sexy avatars up there.
Caroline did them for us. Caroline, you're Caroline.
I did recognize the awesome talents of Caroline. Yeah, so bless her.
We had to use her. I mean, the images that she does in your Afterlife Academy books are amazing.
Oh, it's so much fun just working with Caroline, because it's like having somebody just with a window to your brain. You know, I don't know how she does it, but she just seems to nail it. There's only a very few out of all of the images that she's done over 3 books that she's, you know, I've basically said, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Janie's only supposed to have one hand and stuff like that. You know, there's only been a few things, but yeah, she pretty much nails it every time. So
yeah, superstar. I love it. I've actually got a slate, 2 slates actually. I've got one of Jared, my Jared in his throne, and I've got the one of him and Ella dancing.
Oh yeah, I love that one. It's just, oh, I love it's one of my favorite scenes. I mean, I had a dream of that scene years and years before I was ever going to write the book. So yeah, it's and then to be able to finally write it, and I got to write it actually a few times, because obviously I wrote it in Academy, and then obviously I wrote it in the first HellBeast book, which obviously all ties in together. So yeah, it was fun to get to do it twice.
And then again
and then again years late, well, no, years in the past.
Yeah, years in the past, she does it for the second time.
Yeah, that's how much I love that scene. I mean, you're gonna have a dream.
So
write it 3 times.
So just a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Because, well, please don't hate me. So Blondie
please don't hate you.
Has obviously read all of your books.
Yes.
I have not because I don't want to. It's just because I haven't read
it's
And
time,
in a
right?
long time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the one thing, you become an author because you love reading. I think, you love, like, it's kind of one of those things where you read a book and, when you're an author or when you become an author, you read and read and read and read. And then all of a sudden something just snaps and goes, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go. But the one thing that happens when you become an author, I think, is, you spend so much of your time writing your own books.
Yeah.
That you kind of, that love and that passion, you've still got it. You just don't have time for it as
just
much
don't have
as
time
you used to.
Yeah, and I try to read at night, and it's just, I'm so dang tired.
Yeah.
That I just can't. I can't get past like 2 or 3 pages.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying, because I could finish a book in 1 or 2 days without a problem, and now it's like taking me months to finish a book.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's totally the same with me.
So my question was, all of your books, like all of your different series, are they all interconnected in some way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the only book is the one that I co-wrote with my husband, called Devil in Me, and that is the only kind of book really that's not in the Afterlife universe, should we say. Yeah. So I think it's if I'm not mistaken, 50 books that are all entwined. Yeah. So
That's amazing.
Thank you. It doesn't leave me with much brain power left over for regular things. So life, like
just life.
Just life, like, having a conversation with me. I'm surprised I can speak now. It's like, I sound like sometimes the stupidest person. And when you tell people you're an author, they look at you and go, really? and you find the words when you write, and yeah.
Well, that's why you have an editor. I mean,
well, the thing is, Sarah will probably attest to this, but I'm very fussy when it comes to editing, in the sense that, so I don't have my editors, just like, for obviously spelling and continuity errors and things like that, but the story, it doesn't change at all.
Right.
So the way I do it is, I write a chapter, I edit a chapter, and pretty much that chapter then goes off and I don't touch it again. I think because the story is so closely knitted, it's almost like it's set in stone before it's even began.
Yeah. So there's I mean, mistake wise, there aren't, because the story is just the story.
Oh,
that's all it can ever be.
Yeah,
it can only ever be that. Sometimes we change your words around a little bit, but that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a classic for that one. Like, I think because I'm dyslexic as well.
Exactly.
And it's funny because, Sarah and Claire, who are the ones who kind of, look over it and edit it. The difference being is that, as they probably know the Stephisms by now. That's, they know the words I'm going to be spelling wrong all the time. They know the way that I say a sentence. They know which words they've got to turn around and stuff like that. So I can be quite backwards in some regards.
You often say rather instead of either.
Yes.
That's one of them.
Yeah, just... Oh my God.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I too am dyslexic.
Right.
But apparently my big problem is with names. I cannot, for the life of me, spell our characters' names correctly.
Oh, I am
the number of times I've had to go in and change the names.
She's like, why did you put a T here? I'm like, I don't know.
And the thing is, it's a common thing. It's like I'm exactly the same. The hardest part with mine is because they're all like, I use quite a lot of characters, like real characters from mythology and things like that. I can't really do anything about it. So it's not so much the spelling, because I just copy and paste that shit. So just so that I know, I've literally got, right, who are my characters in this book? I've got a list of them at the bottom of my document, and I literally just copy and paste every time, so that I know
Nice.
I'm definitely not getting it wrong. But it's saying them that I get the issue. So if if I'm doing a live or something and I'm talking about a character, the amount of times I've had to fudge over it and just oh, that guy,
How do you say Garmu, Garmu, Garmu?
Where's Google when you need them?
Yeah, exactly. It comes to something when you have to go into like YouTube and put in how to say this name, because I mean, I was saying quite a few of my characters' names wrong. I'm basically butchering them for years before actually somebody who, like, say, lived in Japan went, oh no, it's actually Takeshi. I'm like, oh. She's like, like Takeshi's Castle, and I'm like, oh right, okay, it's not
I knew that.
Takeshi.
Yeah. So but yeah, the characters ones, but I think it's something crazy, like when so I have a girl that works for me called Amber, and she's fabulous, and she kind of made a bit of a Bible, because obviously it's getting so big now, trying to keep up with the amount of characters and things like that. And I think the character number for all of my books is something like, I think it's close to about 400.
It's got to be.
And it's just, I mean, obviously these aren't all main characters, because my word, that would just,
But your side characters are amazing. Your side characters give life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really sweet when you come up with a new character and everybody's like, when are they getting their book? And I'm like, oh my God.
I think you've got like over 400 books in plans, haven't you?
I think my list is, see, this is the problem. I think my list is going to be going down, but in fact, every time I bring out a new series or I bring out a new book, it kind of goes up.
Yeah.
So I don't ever seem to be catching up or like getting above. Yeah. So I think the last time I checked, it was, I think I had about 236 books left to write, of the ones that I've obviously got notes on, and all of the ideas.
So you're like TBR. It's like having, like, for readers, it would be the same thing as having a TBR, except you're like the TBW.
TBW. I like,
To be written.
Yeah. I mean, it's
written.
just, I mean, to be written is just, it's such a long list. And I think that's the thing. I mean, for example, obviously I'm writing the HellBeast series at the moment. I had to know the storyline for that back when I was writing book 4 of Afterlife. And when I was writing book 4 of Afterlife, that was back in 2014.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
So I've had the story ready to go and write for like 10 years, but obviously I've not been able to get up to that point because I've had to finish the Afterlife Saga, and then I had to write the Transfusion Saga, and then I've written books in between and stuff. So it takes a long time. So I know the story, but it just may take me a decade to get there. But yeah.
So we already know, you're in your head, you already know what's going to be happening with the characters in Vincent's story. Orthrus, is Orthrus getting one?
Yeah.
Oh yay! Orthrus's story.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
So good, and
you have to be able to do that, because you start planting the seeds now. So obviously Orthrus, for example, I planted that seed with the coffee shop girl. Don't ask me what her name was. I can't remember.
It's on a list somewhere.
Yeah, but and little things like that. So you have to kind of plant the seeds way in advance, even though you don't know when those ones are coming out. And it's I think the only one that I haven't done that with is the Siren series, because I didn't know I was going to write the Siren series. Otherwise, I would have planted a lot more seeds throughout the Afterlife series. But
they
yeah.
still tie in really well.
Oh, thank you. I do try.
But we are actually doing a similar thing with our books.
Right.
Everything is in the same world. And
Yeah.
there's a connection in all of our now new series that we've got planned and that we're doing back to our original series.
Yeah.
And we've been discussing a particular trope of book that we want to do soon.
Right.
Which we've actually got a cover for. Yay.
Yay.
And we're so
by
horrible with this.
some miracle,
we're literally sending each other book covers that we've seen like in groups.
Yes.
And for books that we haven't even thought about writing yet.
But I think that's quite commonplace at the moment, because, you know, not only that, you can in you know, a book cover can actually inspire like a certain scene or a certain character and stuff like that. I mean, there's been plenty of times where in Transfusion, because Blake did all my Transfusion covers, my husband, and he would find an image and go, oh, this would be great. And I'll be going, okay, I'll write it in. Because it just makes sense. It's like, right, that will make a beautiful cover. I just got to make it work. And somehow it does. Somehow it does. So, I love that.
We found out that we've actually, with this thing we've been discussing, we actually, without even knowing it, subconsciously, we actually added these people in to book one of our first ever book.
Oh, amazing.
And we were like, oh my God, it's them. That's who we're writing about. We already knew.
And we actually, it was doing the reading on you when we reread The Rich One in the first, first chapters, because we're only on chapter 7. So it was at least in the first 6.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God.
We're so clever.
I love how that can happen, though, because I always say that writing is such an organic process. You know, if you are totally regimented, you know, you'll miss the opportunity to let the story just flow sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but I only learned, so basically when you do that throughout a series, which I always find is the readers love anything like that, because it's almost that familiarity. You know, just almost kind of validates all of the stories. Do you know what I mean?
And Easter eggs are like gifts. Like it's almost like you're giving them, you know, kind of like a, hey, thanks for reading the whole freaking series, man. This is for you.
Yeah, exactly. Because then they get excited because they're reading something. They're like, oh, I remember that bit. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. And I didn't realize, but it's called a Chekhov's gun. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term.
What?
No.
It's called a Chekhov's gun.
Oh.
And so basically it's known throughout like movies, but obviously people can do it in books, but it's mainly like, you know, to be able to do it throughout a series is difficult, but it's so rewarding when it happens. And a Chekhov's gun, it basically comes, I'm sorry if this is going to sound really boring, but
absolutely not.
It basically is, so say for example, an opening scene of a movie and you're in an office and the camera pans around the office and focuses just for a second on a gun on the wall.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when they're fighting and there's a scuffle and the gun falls, that's what they use to kill the bad guy. It's called a Chekhov's gun. So it's basically you're pinpointing or you're highlighting something that at the time may not make much sense. Yeah. But then it's one of those haha moments.
Yeah. It's like when you have a reread or a rewatch, you're like, oh my God, this is so, you notice so many more things because you've seen it and you know what's coming. And
yeah, exactly. And that's that, you know, the same is obviously applied with writing. And I think that's where, you know, if you're writing a series and you can kind of do it throughout many books. So like I've got Chekhov guns in like book 1 that will only be revealed in like book 5 or book 6 and things like that. You do have that haha moment, and it just, I think it just, it just makes it a better kind of reading experience.
And I think readers, when they figure out that you do this, they actually
look for it.
Look for them.
Mm.
And it becomes like a thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I'm known for my cliffhangers. And I think people love to hate me because of them.
Yeah. We've had some pretty we have some pretty good nicknames that what was the recent one from the alpha reader from Hillary?
Something about psychos, crazy little psychos.
Yeah,
crazy
something
psychos. But I think you know, it's, you kind of get a sick pleasure from it when you're an author. You know, it's like you know, as soon as you do it, it's like, oh, they're gonna hate me. But
that's gonna be brilliant.
But that's how the story has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like once it's in your head that that's what's going to happen. I mean, for us, it's really difficult to like walk away from that. And it doesn't matter what the hate mail is going to say. That's just how the story has to go.
Yeah. I mean, when I finished writing book 3 of Afterlife, at the end of book 3, the messages I got, everybody hated me.
Yes,
but I made everybody buy book 4. So
I must admit, I was someone who did start reading your series before all of the books were out, so I did have to wait.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're not.
Sorry, Blondie.
You lie.
Maybe a little bit.
Joanne Vivier says, I've read and loved every Stephanie book. So good. I wish I could meet all her main characters, especially Pip. Me too.
Oh, yeah. No, Pip is, she was one of those characters that I knew it was, you were rather going to love her or hate her, and thankfully a lot of people loved her. She was rather going to be super annoying to everybody, or everybody was just going to embrace her crazy, and I'm glad it was the second. So the thing is, it's very rare that you get to be able to write a character where you have so much freedom. You know, she can literally, all of the crazy that just pops into my head, I have that free will to just write down.
You do. Pip covers every emotion and behavior on the spectrum. There is no one singular thing she can do. You know, she can do anything, that woman.
Yeah. She is one of my favorite characters, right? But I think she's just so endearing as well.
It's all done with love. It's always done with love, and that's what's so sweet about her. She will do the craziest, stupidest things, but it's just because she's a good person.
I always had the idea of kind of, when I wrote obviously Adam, I always wanted to write just such a contrast of characters, just you know, obviously for her husband for her to be this colorful, mad, crazy tank girl kind of character, to then, you know, be married to the straight-laced, like looking accountant, you know, with his tweed suits and things like that. But on the other side of it, for him to be the most powerful, supernatural, and even the devil is like terrified of him, you know, to have him the only thing that can tame him is this crazy little imp that just you know, pushes his buttons constantly.
It's the dream, isn't it? I mean, that as far as women are concerned, like, I mean, we'll always project ourselves as that crazy little, you know, woman who is going to get the big bad guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're that unique woman.
Yeah, and Adam is the guy of all guys. He's just everything. She locks him in cages and he has rampages because she's done so. And it's like, oh, he's escaped. Woohoo, hee hee. I'm going to run away now.
It's like, it's basically, she lives to get punished.
She does.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so she's always doing something and that's her goal, is to get punished in some way. And you know, that was one of the nice things about being able to write their story and how they meet, and probably one of the hardest scenes. Yeah, I like the Blondie knows exactly what I'm talking about here.
The one where she's riding him.
Yeah, the one where it basically is she first falls in love with him in his demonic form, and he's basically he's like the number of the beast. He's basically like the creation of the devil, basically gone wrong, and she gets basically given to him as food. So it was kind of one of those things that was inspired by that scene with King Kong, where she has to dance for his amusement.
She's pretty.
You know? Yeah, it's like, you know, she amuses him where obviously he would have just eaten her. She decides to amuse him.
And that is the size difference as well, just so you know. The tiny woman, that's the size difference.
And so
whoa, hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yes. And it's the size is all relative.
Holy shit.
Yeah, monster porn. Who knew I could write monster porn?
Knew. Okay.
That's an amazing scene.
I am sold.
She gets squirted off when he comes.
Yes. Basically, think of it as like a monkey trying to climb a tree.
Okay. Ouch is my first reaction.
I mean, well, she doesn't have sex with him while he's
no, she doesn't have sex with him. She just gets him off by basically
riding him, like her arms and legs wrapped around him.
I don't know. I have to do the actions. I can't
shimmying up and down her
like all four limbs. Okay.
So like a monkey trying to climb a tree.
Oh my god.
Is but then obviously when she's at the top and it happens, it shoots her across the room.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You should do a wee.
She gets and then he has to just dunk her in this kind of pool of water just to kind of save her from drowning in it. But that was a challenge. That was pretty challenging. But obviously the main storyline is obviously her having to go back to the mortal realm to find a vessel for him, which is when she meets Adam. And that's and the two become one. So it was yes. So I'm going to be finishing that series next year. So yeah.
All right. So we have a question here for you.
Okay.
So how do you remember storyline after you finish one book and are writing the second one? How to remember the stories if the books are spaced out? Do you write notes or just go between BT memories of the first
this is from Pat. Pat's asking.
Yeah.
Right. Hi, Pat. So basically, no, I don't really write notes. It's almost like once it's in the vault, it's there and it's staying there until I can just get it out. And then once I get it out, it's like I make room for new stuff. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. The only thing that I will do is say, for example, this massive long list of books to be written that I've got, I will write kind of a brief paragraph. Sometimes I will write a page. Sometimes I will write just a scene. For example, Levitch, my bear shifter, my demonic bear shifter, he's getting his own story and he meets her on a plane. And because I had a dream of that scene, I wrote that chapter. So I have that chapter and that's the only notes I've got on it, but I still know the story. So sometimes I will write a lot. I think the most complicated series that I'm going to be writing next is my Elemental series, which obviously we touched on that at the the last few books of Transfusion series. That is massively entwined and really complicated, because what that then will, it's almost like the new thing which will kickstart the Kings of Hell series that I'm going to be writing, and I'm going to be writing the McBain brothers.
Nice.
And you know, Lucius's brother will also be getting a series as well. So all of those will entwine in the hellish world, in the realms. So even though they'll cross over into, you know, what's happening in the mortal realm with Afterlife and HellBeast and all of that, that will kind of be the next thing that's contained, if that makes any sense.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, so I've had to know all of those stories to be able to do that, to have those kind of in place. But I don't, that's probably the most amount of notes that I've got is based on the Elemental series, because I had to know all of the Elemental series before I started writing the last Transfusion book. Because, you know, I don't want to ruin it for you, but obviously something happens at the end where, you know, there may be some broken pieces of something that go flying off somewhere, and
some things happen.
Things happen.
Yeah, things happen, and yeah, basically in a nutshell, it rolls over into that series. So, but yeah.
Yeah, we have Bibles for every series, because my brain is like I have to write everything down. I mean, I can't even remember how to spell my characters' names. So
yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah, I mean, between us, we are, I mean, our memories, I mean, my memory sometimes can be freaking amazing, because I've got ADHD, which means every now and then I will really hang on to stuff. It really gets
when
stuck
she's
in
in hyper focus, it's like a godsend.
Yeah, but we still write it all down just in case, because she'll forget, and then I'll be telling her, and she'll, but we didn't do this. I'm like, we did. Look, we wrote it down. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I suppose when you're working with somebody,
and ladies, let me tell you, this is what you have to look forward to. Apparently, menopause is one of the symptoms, like shit memory. So yeah, yay for being a woman.
I'm not going to look forward to that bit. I mean, because I think that's the one asset that I've really come to rely on, because obviously I'm shit with notes. I mean, I will. The problem is I will likely write notes and lose the notes. Or, for example, whenever I start a book, I will write a chapter breakdown of what I think is going to happen, right? And then I don't look at it ever again.
We do similar,
though. But it's in your brain. That's because keep it.
I think it's just like a safety blanket. It's just like a something that I've always done, and then I just go, yeah, I don't need you anymore. Bye. Just in case. But my memory, the things that I lose track on memory wise is basically the color of people's eyes. I cannot remember who's got what color eyes, and
well, this is why we have the Bible.
Yeah,
we have to.
One of our Bibles is like 600 pages long or something ridiculous.
Wow, that's You guys are on it. You guys are you're very organized. Like, I've been doing this for a while now, and well, I wrote Afterlife back in 2010, so, and I'm still not that organized.
Well, we say we're organized, we do plot and we do plan, however we very rarely actually follow that plan, which means we're fucking each other over all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also, it's also the fun part of writing as a duo. Is to kind of like, oh, by the way, went off screen. Good luck with that.
I think that's the thing. I think you know, writing is a very solitary kind of thing, isn't it? It's, you know, you're pretty much on your own. But when obviously, like you guys, where you know, to be able to bounce ideas off each other, because you know, your imagination's going wild, and creativity creates creativity. You know, it's just feeds each other, doesn't it? So I can imagine that's the real kind of bonus to what you guys do. But can I ask a question? How do you do it? Like, because I did it kind of with my husband. That's what she said. And she sorry. And I had to take control. Like, usually I'm a pretty easygoing, submissive person when it comes to like my husband, but in writing I'm not. In writing I am like, you know, I'm dictator Steph. I'm basically like, no, we're doing it this way. And he's like, oh, okay.
We could spend hours having conversations on plots and where we want to go, and sometimes one of us will have an idea and the other one won't agree, but we talk about it, we work on it, and then we end up coming up with something else, or
like a compromise.
Yeah, or
I mean, it's not, I don't think, I wouldn't call it a compromise. It's more of it's kind of like when we're talking, it's like the conversation we're having is like a blackboard. And on that blackboard, we're writing down all the ideas, erasing the ones that aren't going to work because maybe it doesn't tie into something we've already done, or just the simple idea of, I don't think that character would say that, or I don't think that's that character's way of doing things. And so we erase and we add other things. It's really like our entire conversations become like this blackboard where everything is there. And then we have to also respect each other's view on, you know, the way that we see the story going. And also keeping in mind that we're not the only one, you know, with that story going. There's two of us. So we respect that.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, you know, kudos to you guys. You must have a really, really solid, good friendship to be able to do that. And, you know, because I think when you know, it's almost like picking a you know, a marriage partner, isn't it? You know, it
really is.
You've got to be able to trust. I mean, it's like when me and Caroline worked with each other, you know, our friendship, we've been friends for, you know, just shy of 20 years. Sorry, if you can hear banging, that's my children upstairs. It sounds like they're going to come through the roof, I swear. Or the ceiling, I should say. But not the roof, because I don't put my children on the roof.
Why not?
Only on the weekends.
On the weekends.
Yeah, come play on the roof. Sorry, my mind is trailing off what I was saying. I do have a lot of squirrel moments. So this is, again, the brain power saved solely for writing, and then very little left over. But yeah, when me and Caroline work with each other, you know, you really have to respect each other. And, you know, you can't be pushy. You have to listen, and communication is 100% key whenever you work with somebody, especially when they're a good friend. So yeah, I really admire that between you two. So yeah.
Well, I think that we knew each other.
Yeah. We were acquaintances.
We were acquaintances, and also I had how many books did I have you edit? Maybe two?
Yeah, I think I did two.
Two or three. And so I only knew her in that capacity. And I think that what works for us is that our friendship now, and you're right, it's almost like a marriage contract, because, you know, we literally have money between us, right?
Yeah.
But I think that our relationship is born from the writing. So there's nothing else outside of that writing that would come into play. I don't know if that makes any sense. Our friendship, I mean, you know, she's like my wife now, and that I feel like it's even stronger because there's nothing from the past besides that.
There's no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we do disagree with each other on something, we just talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
Like, it's just all we just have a chat. There's no animosity. That word.
Animosity.
That's the one.
No,
There's
there
none of
isn't.
that. It's all
No.
just. I mean, and we disagree.
We do.
But that's healthy, I think. You
Yeah.
know, at the end
Oh,
of the
yeah.
day, you know,
And it makes the stories better because we're like, oh yeah, actually. Or sometimes we
we
try
have to think about it. It's not just an ego thing. Like, and the thing is that we don't, I mean, obviously we don't have an ego.
No.
So it really is about the story. It really
Yeah.
is about the characters. It's not about us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's good. I
Question.
think. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Do you guys find that you write better if you just let it flow? This is Carrie asking the question. And I don't know.
I think I do. I mean, obviously you've got your core kind of kind of idea story of what, you know. I always say it's almost like you have the spine of your story, and the fleshy bits are all the parts where it's just free flowing. You know, if I will go to bed at night thinking about my next scene, and it will all of a sudden just take me to a whole place that I'd never been to, or I gain a lot of inspiration from real life and things like that. So depending what had happened to me that day.
Do you gain inspiration from real life, Miss Sexy Scenes, Stephanie?
Do you know what? How many fans ask about me and Blake's sex life? It's just unreal. I think. It always makes us chuckle. It always makes us chuckle, and I think Blake loves it because Blake, you know what a wind-up Blake is. He's just, he loves it.
All the men are hot in all the books, so of course he loves being compared to them.
Oh, of course. You know, honestly, the amount of times he gets his ass pinched at like events, he's just yeah. I know. I mean, to me, it just makes me giggle. It's like, you know,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, but no.
There's Pat's asking Stephanie, what was your reaction from family members on spicy parts of your books?
Or
close friends, or
to be honest, I think the only weird one was when my granddad read it.
Oh my God,
same.
Oh my God, same.
And bearing in mind, he is now 98.
Wow.
Yep.
So he can no longer focus on the words. I mean, obviously I wrote Afterlife, you know, like over 14 years ago. So you know, back then he could read the words, and I think he only got to book 1 for a reason.
I mean, even 14 years ago, he was still getting on a bit. If he's 98,
I know, bless him. Do you know what? He's 98 and he still has no help. He has no carers come round. He cooks his meals. He buys his shopping. He refelts his shed roof. He's just, he's amazing. He really is. So this is a shout out to Noel. He'll never see this, but still.
Well, I have the same one. My grandpa is he's in Florida, and he is 95, I think, this year.
Oh, wow.
And he he's got his little girlfriend going on at the, you know, at the house, and at the because he's in a home, but like this really like posh place that he stays, and like he gives us the tour every time. And so and one time, because I've been writing since 2012, so you know, the first time he bought one of my books, my mom's like, "Oh, Grandpa bought a book." I was like, "I'm sorry, what now?"
Oh.
And she's like, "Yeah, he blushed." I was like, "Oh, I can never look at him again."
I know, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, I mean, to be fair, my parents were pretty supportive, and my dad kind of has literally, his advice was, you know, sex and violence, it always sells. So I was like, right, okay.
He's right.
Yeah, he was pretty right. So but when it comes to friends, it was pretty weird actually, because when I wrote Afterlife, when I wrote the first 4 books, I was with my ex-husband, and nobody really, it was all pretty hush hush in a sense, you know. Not many people that I knew actually had read it, even though they knew I'd written a book. And then when I got divorced, I got Caroline in the divorce.
Oh,
and she was the only
Nice.
one I got in the divorce. And all of my friends since I like pretty much have been fans. So they've all read it anyway. So it was kind of, it just, yeah, I mean, so I don't really have that weird thing about, you know, friends reading it or anything, because all my friends have become friends because they were fans in the first place. So that's not to say that I only make friends with people that read my books. That's not really, really, I've just realized how that actually made it sound. I was like really egotistical. It's like, no, you cannot come in my house until you have read my entire series.
Which ones have you read?
Yeah, exactly. They have a little quiz before they're allowed to enter in the door, you know.
Brunette, you're not
Don't
allowed
take your
to
shoes off until you've read my book.
Yeah, exactly.
Brunette, you're not allowed to be Stephanie's friend.
Yeah.
No.
Clearly
I'm
that.
But I have downloaded HellBeast King, so I will be reading that bad boy. Book 1.
Remember, he's
So
mine.
am I starting in the right place? Like, for someone like me who has to read the beginning of the beginning, am I at the right place? No. Okay, awesome. Thanks for that.
Start with Afterlife.
I would kind of feel a bit bad to say start at Afterlife, because I know then if you were to read everything in order, you would literally have, especially after you saying you don't have time to read, you literally would have I don't know how many books.
I think Afterlife is 12, is it? 12? And then Transfusion is 12.
Transfusion.
Okay, so 14. I mean, I'll probably finish this decade, and I'll, you know.
But to be fair, I think that you could start a HellBeast King and it not.
You could.
It's not a massive.
It's like with our books. There are spoilers in there for if you want to read the first series, but you can still read it on its own.
Yeah.
But if you read the first series, you do get a fuller experience.
Yeah. Okay. But isn't spoilers like Kings of King spoiler, or is it more like spoilers like the Reapers?
The Reapers.
Okay.
That's our books.
Yeah, no, I know that's your books, but I was just like, what level is that?
Because Talk, as we like to name it, Kings of King is almost like a 7th book to the 6-book series. The thing is that it's just a different character, but it brings everything that happened in the 6 books. It kind of like ends everything completely with. So I mean, you have spoilers because the characters from the first 6 books are all present in Talk.
Yeah.
Whereas Reapers is a character. Yeah, is a character from the first 6 books, but this is really just her story.
Right. I mean, it's a very difficult thing for an author to do, when they're entwining in different worlds and different stories. But basically there is a baseline story, and that's the one you start with. It's very, very difficult to then do the spin-off series and not it wouldn't be right if you didn't include what's happened or if you didn't mention it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you're trying not to overwhelm the new readers.
Yeah.
So that's the balancing act, isn't it?
Yeah. It is definitely a fine line. I mean, we've all read those books where we've started reading it and we've all been like, totally overwhelmed by information. That's one of my pet peeves when you first start reading a book is I like to learn things slowly, you know, because I don't want to test, you know, I don't want to,
Yeah.
especially when you're doing a fantasy book and you've got to, like, you know, or sci-fi is another one that does it as well. I like a lot of sci-fi romance / porn, reading porn, maybe a little bit of real porn, I don't know. But anyway, I love the sci-fi stuff. So, but I was reading one book and I started it and I was like, oh, and because obviously she'd done loads of these books before, where she'd obviously started off small. In this one, it was like giving you a little lecture before you'd even started the book of this galactic war between these people and this planet's this and this planet this, and you're like, holy shit, I just want to get to the sex. Like, when do they meet and when do they get it on?
Where's the peen? Just show me the peen.
Just show me the alien penis, you know, get to part where they actually even meet. But obviously when you've got, and my brain does not retain this type of information, you know. I've got too much information in there already. I can't be thinking about galactic wars and, you know, interstellar politics. No. Like, just have her a shuttle crash and just have him save her. Like, that's it.
Yeah, he just accidentally falls inside her.
Exactly. Just do that. I'm easy, but
not literally. Obviously, intergalactic wars.
Sorry, I've just way ranted about sci-fi porn for way too long.
So Blake is in the house. I just saw.
Oh, yeah, Blake says, "Hey, Blake."
We said the name. We put him with the same phrase as hot men, and all of a sudden he's there.
I think it was the alien porn.
Yeah, clearly he's heard that somewhere. And now he's like, oh, the wife is talking about alien porn. I better tune in. So yeah, that's I'm gonna pay for that one later.
All right, Pip.
I know, yeah. Oh God. Oh my God, I could have said something then that involved cucumbers, but I'm really not gonna go there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah. Cucumbers, okay. All right.
I'm not gonna
refreshing.
Well, yeah, no. Anyway, I'm gonna stop before I start, you know.
Oh no, he's tentacle porn he's watching. Right, so
porn.
Well, anyway.
So we are going to maybe begin, because we've been chatting for almost an hour. This is what we do. We just chat. We can't help it. We're so chatty.
Our lives go on for hours.
Yeah.
So we're actually reading 2 chapters today. We're going to be reading chapter 7 of The Rich One, because that's where we're at in our reads. And then we're going to be reading chapter 14 of The HellBeast King, which I have in my hands and nobody can see because you can't see me. But it's amazing.
It's like promise.
And I have downloaded it, so I do have it.
And the chapter headers are cool, and I want that tattoo. It just
no one can see you.
I know. Well, that means everyone needs to just go and buy the HellBeast King.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah. So the way we usually do our reads is sometimes we'll alternate. One of us will read the main bulk and the other one reads like the speech.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have a Kindle open with it there, or are you not?
Oh,
prepared?
me?
Yes.
Do you want me to read?
Absolutely.
You shall participate.
I wasn't prepared for this. I thought I was just supposed to sit here and nod. And
no,
pretty.
We want you to read our words with us.
Oh shit! No, I'm
on
my phone.
Spoiler alert. Blondie has a tendency to give our characters who live in New York a very, very Texas accent.
It's the only American I can do.
Don't be afraid.
That's hilarious. Oh my God! I wish I'd have known, because when you said about you do readings, I didn't realize you included me in said readings. Because I feel bad because I'm on my phone and my Kindle's on my phone and I have no way of reading.
That's okay. We will forgive you this time.
Unless you wanted to send it to me via email, I don't know. I have no way of doing it. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You probably won't want me reading anyway because I'm terrible at reading out.
Oh, you will. We are narrators. We are not. We will stop. We will laugh. I mean, I can't help. I snort laugh. So it's not.
I'm a snorter. Love it.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm just going to sit back, relax, drink my tea and enjoy you two.
Okay. As long as you don't.
Is everyone else ready for us to, kind of, sound effects. Yes, Carrie, we do have sound effects.
Oh yes, I do sound effects while she's reading.
Yeah. and which makes me stop and be like, what the hell was that?
Well, if you need a badum-shh, I've got that covered.
Excellent. Right, are we ready, darling? I assume you want to narrate and I will voice.
We can do whatever you want.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, darling.
Let's go. So this is chapter 7. Do we need to recap for those who maybe haven't?
Oh God, what the hell's happened so far?
Okay, so very quickly, River Fox is our escort. She has a double life. River is her real name, but she uses the name Rose as the escort. And for this book, The Rich One, her client is the very hot and very rich Tyler Walker.
That's her main client.
That is her main client for this book. Now, keep in mind, she also has her childhood friend Kai, with whom she's been in love for most of her life.
And
and so they're, they're friends with lots of naughty benefits. And then we have now
Everest and her sister-in-law Petal are cool, but I don't think they're in this chapter.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We have Kai, so I don't know. And then we have Candy Owl Guy, Nathaniel Reed, who is just kind of, we're just kind of meeting him right now. Not really sure what's going on. So keep in mind, as you read the Escort series, for those of you who are reading it, the
main love interest?
Yeah, the main love interest. Well, if you feel like you don't know who it's going to be, that is completely intended.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Can I just be really annoying for just 1 second? If Blake is still listening to this, Blake, can you bring down my phone charger? I left it upstairs and now I'm slightly panicking as the bar goes down, creeps down. So if you're hearing the phone charger, please. Thanks. Anyway, right, go for it.
All right. So here we go. After Kai dropped me off at the ferry last week, I spiraled a little. For the first time since I've been doing this, my personal life clashed with Rose. Luckily, the shit didn't hit the fan too much, and I know Kai will get over this eventually. He still hasn't responded to the text I sent him a few days ago, but I'm not worrying about that. This is Kai. Once he's had time to lick his imaginary wounds, I'm sure we'll fuck and make up.
Oh, shit!
Oh, Jesus. I don't think she meant to say it that way.
Well, she's startled. So
that's a lot of startled, though. Okay, that's fine.
You startled me.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm startled into actually paying attention to what I'm doing in the grocery store. Bumping into something solid. Something solid that smells divine. A little like a forest after a rainfall.
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my God. Oh, cue in the horses. The deep voice pulls my gaze upward, meeting a pair of crystal blue eyes staring at me with worry. It's him, Candy Aisle Guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention, and don't worry about it. Let me help you with that.
I hadn't even realized I dropped anything. Fuck, this guy sends my brain up Dick's Creek without a condom. Oh my God, we wrote that.
I did.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. Before I reply, he's kneeling down and picking up the whipped cream cans that fell out of my basket. There's just something about a man on his knees that does things to me. So much so, I need to suppress a shiver running down my spine straight to my clit.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
My face is flushing as he places the cans and a box of tampons I hadn't noticed back in my basket.
No problem. You're in your own little world. You sure you're okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm
dying.
Texas!
I'm just waiting for you to go. I'm sorry, little lady.
Like, I imagine him tipping his cowboy hat in the middle of Manhattan.
I know. It's like, I get what you mean about the horses.
I can't not do it.
But is he from Texas?
No, he's from New York.
They're all from New York.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Oh
Thanks,
my goodness.
Blake.
Yeah, thanks.
What? Oh, thanks,
Sorry.
Blake.
Plug.
Did you forget the plug?
Yeah.
She's just gonna put it into her ass.
I haven't got a plug. Sorry. Oh, thanks. Sorry, just ignore me and carry on, ladies. I'm just
All right,
I'm just going down here.
So you sure you're okay?
The way he looks at me is a mix of concern and curiosity, which is unusual. I'm not used to men looking at me with anything other than lust or, more recently, disappointment.
I'm fine, thank you. And again, I'm so sorry.
It's hard, but I finally force myself to look away from his captivating blues as I start to walk toward the counter. No big deal. I have everything I need anyway.
Wait up.
Now he looks uncomfortable. Shit, did I hurt him? Is he about to ask for some kind of compensation?
I'm about to grab a coffee if you want to join me.
Well, that's a plot twist and completely unexpected. Fireflies erupt in my belly at the thought of spending actual time with Candy Owl Guy. I should get his real name at some point. But do I want that? Is that the smart move? I have enough going on in my life without finding out my secret crush is a big old disappointment, just like the rest of them. I have my own story about his life made up in my head, and in it, he's married, which is why he's my safe, guilty pleasure. Nothing could ever happen between us. He's just pretty to look at. Though in my defense, the married part of my story for him is obvious from the wedding ring on his finger.
Too soon? I mean, I can let you think about it and ask again next time.
He's looking at me with amusement now as I have an internal debate over whether or not I should have a coffee with a hot guy. Pull yourself together, River. I'm sure he wouldn't be asking if he was still married, would he? I nod subtly down at his ring finger.
What would your wife think about that?
Awkward doesn't even begin to describe this conversation. A shadow briefly passes through his eyes, bringing with it a kind of sadness, which dampens the mood. I feel bad about asking, but I can't go out with a guy knowing he's married. I may be an escort, but in my real life, I'm not that girl. He clears his throat before speaking, his eyes shifting right, then left, before pinning me with a deep blue stare that briefly paralyzes me.
She died, so, no.
If I thought it was awkward before, then right now is downright unbearable. Like an idiot, I search the ground for the biggest hole to whisk me away from this conversation.
I'm sorry for, your lass.
Your lass?
Your lass. Hey, lassie.
I'm just like, when did she turn into a Southern belle?
I don't know.
Like, why?
I'm sorry. for your loss.
It's like, Scarlet, leave this body.
I'm like, Scarlett O'Hara's just gonna turn up. I just see her in this great big frock.
Scarlett O'Hara becomes an escort. What?
Genius. Love it.
Oh
Anyway,
my
sorry. You're doing
no.
great.
I'm
you
sorry
do
for
it,
your
Andy.
loss.
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 Round, swallow me now.
Yeah, thanks.
And then there was silence, like complete and utter nothingness as we stared at each other, trying to figure out what to say next. I mean, how do you follow up with my condolences? Shifting my feet, I take a deep breath and say, fuck it, inside my head.
Okay, then. Coffee sounds great. Under one condition.
I give him a bright smile that probably screams psychopath, but in for a penny and all that.
What's that?
Damn. Even with his brows pinched and look of utter confusion, he's still hot as fuck.
You tell me your name so I don't have to keep calling you Candy Owl Guy in my head. Candy Owl Guy, huh? As opposed to Gas Station Guy?
Oh, he thinks he's funny.
Well, yeah. And Coffee Shop Guy, but I've given up on him. I don't think he's legal.
His answer is a smile so big, bright, and goddamn sexy that I'm pretty sure I just wet my panties. But he doesn't stop there. Leaning in, his voice like sex and dark chocolate, he whispers in my ear, Nathaniel Reed.
Oh my god, why is he too creepy?
I don't know.
Is she running out the store yet?
Run, River, run! Fucking hell, now I know my panties are wet from fever. Dripping, in fact.
Okay, so I'm going to pay for my shopping.
My cheeks are on fire. I need to pull myself together and find some of my rose confidence.
And I'll meet you outside when you're done.
2 questions, River. Really? 2 questions? Sorry, I was trying to figure out. Oh, sorry. I clear my throat and throw my shoulders back before nodding once and heading straight to the cash register.
Ciao.
Oh, this is fun. You're going to do it in Italian.
No, because it's not Francesca speaking, so it doesn't need to be in Italian. It's shit Italian because River's shit at it.
Okay.
Oh. Ciao, Francesca. This is everything for today. Grazie.
At the counter, I hand over my small basket of goodies so that she can ring them up, smiling like a goon as she wags her eyebrows at me. Francesca knows about everything that goes on in this store.
I say nothing, Bella. Be safe and have fun. Tell me everything next time, eh?
She grins at me, knowing full well I won't tell her everything, but still eager for information.
See, of course, you know I will.
Gossip is this woman's lifeblood. Obviously, I don't go around talking about my life, so I get why she's so excited. Maybe I'll give her the Cliff Notes next time I'm in, just to make her happy.
Bueno, e presto, Riva. Yep, see you soon.
No E there. There is no E there.
No E where?
It's buono.
Buono. I said I did say bueno, didn't I? Buono. Buono, buono, a presto.
A presto.
A presto.
Bono.
Bono.
Bono. Bono.
Bono.
Pro bono.
Yep, see you soon, Francesca.
Shaking my head a little, my face actually hurting from the huge smile, I gather my things and head outside to wait for Nathaniel. Fuck, I loved his name.
Ready to go?
I startle at the deep timbre of his voice, and when I turn around, I swear the color of his eyes intensifies in the bright sunlight.
I am. Do you have somewhere in mind?
I'm treading in unknown waters right now. Dates and one-on-one time with men while I'm off duty is not something I do very often, if at all. He looks as nervous as I feel, though, so I'm not uncomfortable. I mean, we've already gone through some awkward-ass shit, so I think we're good for now. If anything, I feel good about this, about doing something normal. After all this time basically stalking the guy, yeah, I'll admit to coinciding my shopping visit with his in hopes of stolen glimpses and polite smiles. And now I'm actually going for coffee with him. Okay, so it's not a date, but it's something. With Kai being an ass at the moment, this comes as a welcome distraction.
There's a place just down the street. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can
Where
brush
are we? What are you doing? What are you doing?
As Barbie girl starts blasting from my back
Oh,
pocket.
yes. Starts blasting from my back pocket. That's my work phone.
I was like, what's happening?
This is my sound effects.
Oh, sorry. Can I go to the toilet?
Yes. How dare you?
I know. I'm. You guys are making me laugh, and with the accent and everything. I'm gonna pee myself. But carry on. Just ignore me.
Go and pee.
I'll be right back.
We'll see you in a mo.
I'll see you in a minute. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Well, do we continue?
Well, she said carry on.
Okay, we're carrying on. All right, so Aqua's Barbie girl starts blasting from my back pocket. That's my work phone. And that ringtone means only one person.
You can brush
Paul.
your hair.
I know that's not her real name. My old madam. The woman who introduced me to my first client. It's unusual for her to call me midweek, which means I really should answer it.
Yeah.
She'll only keep calling back until I do.
Let's go party.
Are you still singing?
Well, she hasn't answered the phone yet.
This is true. Fuck's sake. Just when I'm about to do something that resembles normality.
Oh. Sorry about this. I really should answer it.
Smiling apologetically, I pull myself from my jeans. Hey,
Polly.
Polly.
Hey, Polly. I'm with someone right now. Can I call you back?
Oh my God.
Can I call you back? I can't not do it.
And this is Polly. Hey, Rose, stop with the freaking accent. Okay, sorry. Anyway, where am I? Blah, blah.
Nathaniel pretends.
Nathaniel pretends he's not listening. It's hard not to when I'm standing right here. I would do the same.
Of course, darling. 5 minutes, okay?
So she is ever, that woman. But she's done a lot for me, and I owe her a few favors.
Great. Speak to you in 5.
I don't bother with pleasantries. She's hung up before. Wait, hold on. I don't bother with pleasantries. She's hung up before I can say another word anyway. Efficiency is the name of the game.
Gotta go.
Nathaniel asks, a hint of disappointment passing across his features, quickly masked with a fake smile I know all too well. I wear one often.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I keep saying that to you today. Can we rain check?
Putting on my best apology face, I give him a small smile. I'm shy all of a sudden, an unfamiliar emotion for me.
Yeah, I get it. No problem.
He looks around, and to my horror, he plucks a pen out of a passing delivery guy's hand. As he apologizes, he takes my arm and writes a series of numbers across my palm. His number, I realize. When he's done, he hands the pen back with a thank you before bringing his blue gaze back to me.
The ball's in your court. Fuck.
He frowns. I'm confused. What's happening right now?
I don't know your name.
It's my turn to smile, and I do my best to dazzle him.
Well, I guess that's a conversation for next time.
She does not sound like an escort, let me just say.
She might do in South Carolina.
Yeah, see?
Oh, I've had many dicks in my mouth. Sorry. Whew, okay. Where am I? Without giving myself a chance to think about it, I rise to my tiptoes and place a soft kiss in the corner of his mouth. Then I swiftly turn and walk away like the dramatic bitch I am. Little pause. Waiting for a client to turn up is a pain in the ass, especially when they're late. It's only 5 minutes, but still. I hope he doesn't think he's getting a discount or overrunning on his scheduled time. Holly's phone call earlier was a big ask. Taking on a client I haven't been in contact with myself is something I haven't done for years. But she was desperate. A few of her girls called in sick, meaning Polly had to find someone on short notice. With no backups of her own to fill the spot, I was her best bet. $3,000 for an hour's work was hard to resist. All I know about this guy is that he likes it rough and is into a little rope play. I gave her a hard pass on the tied up part. I'm not okay with being vulnerable with someone I don't know. This type of play is usually done with a contract and reserved for clients I trust. A knock on the door jolts me back to the here and now. With my Dolce & Gabbana black suede ankle strap heels and lacy black underwear, suspenders included, I steel my spine, plaster on my rose mask, and open the door. Showtime.
Well, hello there. Come on in.
Gesturing inside, I'd welcome Rex Steele into the small apartment. It's basically just one big bedroom, the giant 4-poster bed taking up most of the space, and a separate small bathroom in the far corner. He's actually quite handsome in a generic way. There's nothing that really stands out, but he's easy on the eyes. At least my job will be easier tonight. The whole money exchange thing doesn't need to happen. Polly dealt with that and will pay me when I see her in a couple of days. After closing the door, I give my best come fuck me eyes as I prowl toward him, running my hands across his chest to help him off with his shirt. As I'm undoing his top button, he grips my wrists in his hands, squeezing a little harder than necessary. This doesn't feel right, but it's $3,000 and I don't want to let Polly down. It's only for an hour. Rex's gaze turns from shy lust to pure ice, like he's just flipped a switch and turned off all emotions. I get the need to do that, but this isn't the way I change from River to Rose. This is something different, more sinister. I don't like it. A niggling feeling starts in my gut, the kind that keeps women like me alive.
Rex, you're hurting me. Hurting. Rex,
Hurting!
you're hurting me. Can you loosen your hold a little, please?
The best way to deal with these guys is to avoid angering them, to keep an even tone and let them believe they're in control. After all, that's what they need. A slow grin creeps across his face as he tightens his grip, no doubt leaving bruises at this point. It fucking hurts. I need to get control of the situation.
Rex, let go. You're hurting me.
I'm struggling to pull out of his hold, finding it hard not to whimper at the increasing pain. It feels like he's cutting off the circulation to my hands, which is starting to make me panic. His response is a low chuckle. Oh, come on. Where's your chuckle?
Oh,
better. His response is a low chuckle, if you can call it that. And after everything he's shown me so far, that's what scares me the most. True. I agree. The way he's holding me makes it impossible to use the more subtle self-defense moves I've learned. Straight for the jugular it is then, since my legs are still free to move. I'll give him one last chance before this gets nasty.
Rex, please let me go now.
Slow and steady, definitely not panicking as I watch his sinister smile turn into something I wish I could erase from my brain. Why isn't he talking? With my panic rising, I focus on everything I learned at Krav Maga. Before positioning my legs. Krav Maga. Seriously, he's been warned. The freak is just staring at his hold on my wrists, like he's fascinated with watching my hands turn whiter from lack of blood flow. I'm fucking done playing games now. With as much strength as I can, I lift my knee and hit the fucker straight in the jewels. He immediately releases his grip.
Ah, you fucking whore!
Oh, that was a good one. Okay.
Oh, was it?
Finally,
Is he Irish?
No.
Not the most original insult I've ever heard. Not taking a moment to assess the situation, I head straight for the door. I need to get out of here and into some kind of safety quickly. I'm not fucking stupid. I don't, for 1 second, think I can best this guy by myself. This is the last fucking time I do Polly a favor. Total fucking shit show. Turning the handle to the front door, I get it partially open, only to be slammed into from behind. Panic begins to swell up from inside me again. My breaths are labored after being winded from the impact. He doesn't move, caging me in against the door with the front pressed to the hard surface.
Think you're clever, do you? I'm sick of hearing your shrill little voice.
His putrid breath at my ear sends bile to my throat. I may very well be in trouble right now, but fuck if I let this guy win. He grabs onto my wig, so close to my scalp that he's actually got a hold of my real hair, and yanks my head backward so I'm bent at an awkward angle. Something that tastes like ass with an awful cotton texture is shoved into my mouth, taking away any chance for me to scream. I want to try to be the strong ass bitch that I know I am, but I'm really shitting my pants right now. Involuntary tears start forming in my eyes, running down my cheeks in a silent cry.
Now this is what I wanted.
You sound like, oh, what's the name of this the guy from the Smurfs? Gargamel.
Gargamel. Gargamel.
Gargamel. Okay. Anyway, from behind me, he licks up my tears from my chin over my cheek, finishing just below my eye. I want to puke.
That's it. Moan for me.
My muffled cries are not for you, sick fuck.
You got a little more bite than the last one. I like it. It's boring if it's too easy, you know.
Eyes wide, tears still streaming, I struggle against his hold. I can feel every beat of my heart as it pounds heavily inside my chest. Having no idea what he's planning is probably one of the scariest things about the situation. Kicking my foot back doesn't help me. The pain shoots through my legs as he hits the back of my thighs with something that feels like a baseball bat. My hands are free now, but I'm on the floor, the pain briefly shocking me into submission.
Oh, you are a feisty one indeed.
The sneer on his face as I looked up at him should make me cower, but there is no way in fucking hell that I'm going down without a fight. I am not a damsel who's going to curl up in a ball at the first sign of trouble. Pain be damned. The back of my legs are throbbing. It's going to be hard to hide the bruises as I try to stand. He laughs at my attempts, just laughs, twirling around. Wait, that's my fucking baseball bat. That'll teach me to keep it by the front door. My blonde wig is discarded on the floor next to me. No doubt some of my actual hair is mixed in there too, with the force it was ripped from my head. Standing now and facing him, I slowly back up. There's a Venus de Milo sculpture by the door I can use to defend myself. Hopefully I can grab it and do whatever I need to escape quickly. My hands are still a little numb, pins and needles making them tingle as the blood flow returns, which makes it difficult to feel around the statue, or feel for the statue. Which makes it difficult to feel around for the statue.
Yay!
I got it. He's too quick, launching himself at me so fast I can barely blink. Grabbing for my wrist, he misses, and I manage to connect my fist with his face. The satisfaction of seeing blood drip from his nose is short-lived as he restrains me again. Holding my wrist with one hand, he pulls something that looks like string from his pants pocket. Nuh-uh. Nope, not happening. My body drops like dead weight, catching him off guard, forcing him to release his grip again. I don't run for the door this time. I go straight for the window. I don't give a fuck if I've got to smash through it to get down the fire escape. I'm doing what I need to survive this crazy asshole. On the way, I pull out the gag and scream for help at the top of my lungs. This is a busy building. Someone's got to hear something. I scream and scream. Holy shit, you scared me.
you made it sound like she'd already jumped, and that was the sound of her just
falling. She was just dropping.
I was like, wait a sec, what? I'm pretty sure she didn't fall, right?
Yeah. On the way, I pull out the gag and scream for help at the top of my lungs. Blah, 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 scream and scream, and I'm so close to the window, it hurts. I don't make it. Pain surges through me again from my scalp as he pulls me to a halt by my short hair. Something heavy connects with my skull, and the corners of my vision start to turn blurry, my voice no longer making any sound as the room fades in and out, and in and out. Is this how I die? In and out. A sharp scratch on my inner thigh jolts me to consciousness. My body aches all over, and I don't want to open my eyes.
Wakey, wakey, my pretty little whore.
A warm breeze travels from my nipple down to my core, making me scream at the sharp sting of an open wound. Thick liquid slides down my thigh. I think it's my blood. In fact, I'm sure of it. The pain is excruciating, like 1,000 salt-covered paper cuts all in one place. Paper cups all over the place.
Those pesky cups.
Those damn cups, man. Where am I?
My wrists are tied.
My wrists are tied to the corners of the bed. My mouth is full of ass-flavored cotton again, and my eyes are almost swollen shut from tears. How long have I been unconscious?
Our time is almost over. You've been such a good little whore for me. Your golden skin is going to look beautiful in the new frame I bought today.
The sniffing sound he exaggerates causes a chill to crawl down my spine. I refuse to give in to curiosity and open my eyes. I do not want to know. Muffled screams fill the apartment as the sharp pain in my thigh begins again. It's like nothing I've ever felt. He's taking his time with whatever he's doing, the torture never ending. Thrashing my body as much as I can makes it worse, and the rope burns on my wrists are now adding to the agony. I lie complacent, biting hard on the cotton in my mouth and trying to yell at the top of my lungs, not that it's very loud with the gag. My face is soaked with tears. My beautiful satin pillows damp beneath my head.
I see you've chosen the easy way. Shame.
Daring to open my eyes, I am faced with something I never thought I'd hate to see. He's jacking off, and it has to be the ugliest stick I've ever seen in my life. Fuck knows why I'm fixating on his dumpling of a cock, but at the moment I can't do much else.
You like that, don't you?
It's not a question. Quickly averting my gaze from the horror show standing next to the bed, I look up into the man's eyes as they burn holes into my face. That's when I see the switchblade. I watch. Oh, crap. Hold on.
What?
I actually closed the book instead of turning the page.
That's when I see the switchblade.
I watch in slow motion as he brings it to my cheek and wipes my own blood onto my skin. If looks could kill, he'd have died 1,000 painful deaths from my glare alone.
There's that fire. I thought you'd lost it. Got quite boring for a while there. Come on, little whore, spit at me, curse at me, fight me.
That sinister grin returns to his face, his mud-brown eyes crinkling at the corners. The fight in me hasn't left, but I refuse to give him the satisfaction, so I continue to think of ways he could die. It's dark as fuck, but that's where I am right now. I'm scared. I'm in a shit ton of pain, but now I'm angry too, fucking seething. His breathing gets heavier as his hand moves faster on his stubby dick. He leans his head down to my thigh where the 1,000 paper cuts are throbbing and licks at the blood trickling from the wound. Feeling pressure applied to the cut, or however the fuck he's mutilated me down there, sends a scream tearing through me. There's no holding it back. It feels like he's ripping my skin off as his moans of pleasure get louder. Tears flood my eyes, making it almost impossible to see. I'm close to passing out from the pain as he tugs one final time on my skin and his penis. His cum spurts and jets over my now naked body. He must have removed my clothes while I was passed out.
That's his cum spurting. Sorry.
Awesome.
Oh, I know you explained it.
There we are, all done. Are you still alive, Brunette? Did you die?
Pretty death. Where am I? Where am I?
You put something on the bedside table.
Oh yeah, must have removed my clothes while I was passed out.
I did that. There we are, all done.
He put something on the bedside table with his switchblade before zipping up his pants.
Want to see how good you look, little whore?
Picking up whatever he just put down, he rubs it across his cheek. It leaves a trail of blood right before he shoves it in my face, and I vomit right there. I almost choke as I have to swallow it back down, the gag still restricting me. It's a square patch of my skin about an inch wide on either side. Holy shit, that's my fucking thigh. That is skin from my thigh. I think I'm going to be sick again. But then my brain focuses on his low laugh, a terrifying sound that will haunt my sleep for weeks.
Now I'm going to untie one of your arm restraints before I leave. I'm not a complete sadist. The rest you can figure out yourself. Yes, he is a complete sadist, we know.
Yeah. This is the first time I found myself face to face with this kind of psychopath, and I don't fucking like it.
And that's the end of chapter 7.
Jesus Christ.
That was a whole thing.
Well, that was fun.
Bloody hell. I'm knackered. Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot. I didn't realize that was the scene that we'd be reading with you. To be fair, I was hoping to get a sexy one and make you read it and make you giggle because it would be funny.
I mean, I want to find out what happens.
Yay!
I mean, bloody hell, that was a heavy scene. But it's good.
It leads on to a hilarious one. It's not hilarious, but it is, because there's a song called "Dick in a Box" by Justin Timberlake and someone else, and it goes like "Din it, I'll give you for Christmas. It's my dick in a box."
It's really like the smooth. Yeah,
it's a real smooth song that is just like "my dick in a box."
I don't know what I want to do first. Read the rest of your book or watch that.
I'll send you the video. It's on YouTube.
Oh my God.
I really, it's nice. Quite the honor that you would say that. So thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, I was invested, but I was like, yeah, oh my God, what an asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh
so
God.
now we're going to read.
I've got my laptop.
Oh, yay!
So I can read it if you want. The only thing is, I don't have the edited version.
Oh,
I have my version that I write and edit, but obviously
it's different to the other version. I mean, there's not a lot of difference.
There's not a lot of difference. It's just going to be really embarrassing if I come across my own spelling mistake and carry my own writing.
So how do you want to do this? Would you like to narrate and we can do the voices? Ava can do lady, I can do men.
You can do that. I really want to hear your voices, actually. I think it would be hilarious.
So from what I understand, the female is American, so I will do the female.
Oh,
and
shit.
the male is Brit?
Yes, but I can't read it from that. That's let me see if I can find my chapters. There we go. Because I was thinking it's probably best. Wait a sec. Oh, see, I did message Claire and ask Claire to send me the latest copy via email, but she's not. I don't think she's read it. Just bear with me. I was just looking for my chapters, but I can't find them. That's good.
So what if you
I might have it.
go on.
Sorry, you don't have it, do you, Blondie?
No, I might have it.
Oh, that would be cool if you have it. I know I should actually have a copy of my own books on my laptop. It probably would be helpful in life. But no, I don't. Why do I not do that? Just bear with me. Well, this is embarrassing. That was me, like, hey, I've got my laptop, I'm really smart. And no.
Hang on. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, do you have it? Could you send it to me?
I'm going to forward it to you right
now. Yay! Forward me my book.
Yay!
Which one, Boo or Hudson?
Boo, please. That's really confused people.
Yeah. There you go. Sent. I've just.
Okay. I'm refreshing like a mad lady.
Although it's the version I sent Claire, which means it's got all my red stuff all over it.
Has it? That's hilarious. So, chapter 14.
Yes. Or it might not actually.
Wait a sec. I'm just wondering because, right, when is the...
And in book 1, that's this is the point where she's being escorted out of the club.
Oh, right. Okay, so it needs to be before that.
Well, the chapter before that is not the scene that comes before that.
So we need the scene. So let me find you which chapter it is. Oh my God, we're so professional.
I haven't been able to find that particular scene in this book.
Oh, okay. I know how to do that. Okay. I know how to do that. 1 sec. Just 1 second. I will get it.
Actually,
do we have any comments we need to address? I haven't.
Probably.
Oh, wait a sec. Am I looking at the right thing? Yes, I am.
So we have, why can I only see 4 messages?
Right. Okay. I've got it.
Oh.
So basically, I need chapter 6 and 7. And I reckon if we start halfway through chapter 6 and then halfway through finish halfway through chapter 7, if that makes sense.
Oh, so we're not doing chapter 14.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
Chapter 6 and chapter 7. And then I will give people a recap of kind of what's happening.
Okay. Chapter 6. Where do I go on chapter 6?
Okay. Well, I've just sent you chapter 5 to 12 because that happens to be on the email that I forwarded you.
Okay, no worries. Let me open that then and get rid of that. And I will. Right. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. Right. That's just started with chapter 13.
Oh, what?
Oh, no, sorry. I've opened the wrong one. No, I got it. I'm good. I'm good. Right.
Good. Oh, Smidge. I love Smidge. I forgot about Smidge. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you could.
Actually, it's a really small chapter, so I could probably get away reading from beginning of chapter 6.
Because you kind of need all of it to get what's going on if you start halfway through.
Okay, I'll do that. Right. Okay.
Midge is a female, by the way. Ava.
Okay, am I speaking Smidge?
You are ladies, Smidge and Ella, and I think that's all the ladies in this.
Yeah, because I think the only one that speaks is probably Marcus.
So who is actually speaking? Who's the I in here? Like who's narrating?
Ella.
Okay, so
yeah, because it's going to be really difficult for you guys to know who's.
I mean, I know, but yeah.
I'm just gonna wing it.
Okay. Right. So just a recap of what's happening. So Ella, Ella is basically, this is like 11 years later from what actually is happening now. So she's kind of recapping. She's remembering how basically she first met the HellBeast King. And what happened was when she was 18, she went on a school trip to London with her cousin, and her cousin's younger than her, and she noticed her cousin was sneaking out, and she basically followed her to this old English pub, and then
which is a real place.
Sorry,
which is a real place.
The ye old Cheshire Cheese. And basically, so she watches. She sees her go outside, and basically she follows her down into this underground fight club. But this underground fight club is not like your typical fight club. It's more like some kind of demonic freak show. So they don't just have fights on stage. They have dancers, and they have fights and acts and all of these wonderful, crazy things. And up until this point, she doesn't understand the world that she stumbled into. She thinks it's almost like a fancy dress party where everybody's dressed up as demons, or it's cosplay to its max. And so she's kind of really confused about what's going on.
Yeah, she's human.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's human. But she's basically been caught. Yes. She's been caught, and basically she's about to be made to dance on stage. They don't know that she's actually a trained dancer. Their aim is to kind of humiliate her at this point.
Trying to drop her in the shit.
Yeah. So and if you can imagine the club, it's all underground, so it's like one massive, huge, cavernous cave kind of setting with all of these creepy kind of circus tents and things like that, and weird shit going on that's around this kind of rock kind of stage. And across this stage is like a VIP area where there's this huge kind of demonic throne. So that's where we're at. Okay. Here we go. Chapter 6, Wolf in the Shadows. After this, Smidge told me to wait. After naming who my cousin was, it seemed as though I had dropped a Draven bomb. And sorry, some of this isn't going to make sense. I've just realized, because without the first chapter and who Draven is her uncle, and who is also the King of Kings. So, but she doesn't know any of that. Yeah. So basically she has mentioned who her uncle is, and now they've all been like, oh, okay. So this is what she means by that. But anyway, I'll stop rambling and carry on. She ran off saying something about desperately needing to find her boss, and I could only hope that she did, and this whole nightmare would soon be over. However, she must have anticipated the fight on stage to go on a lot longer than it did, because far too quickly the 7 champions were lapping up the cheers from the crowd. This as they all started dragging their spoils from the fight, this being a dead carcass over their small shoulders, and off towards the backstage. I screamed as I spun around to find. Was that her screaming?
That was supposed to
that's
be
you.
you.
Like
Sorry.
a banshee.
Sorry. I take that scream back. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. I screamed as I spun around to find one of the dancers that was now dressed like a sexy wolf, laughed and tell me, save this. Oh, sorry.
That's a female, so you do that one.
Oh, wait, isn't that? Oh, that's a female? Save
Yeah,
the
say
scream for
female.
the stage, fleshy, as the crowd will love them.
Then she snagged a pair of shackles around my wrist and started to drag me towards the stage, only pausing long enough for who I now knew was named Marcus to introduce the next act. Now the sides of the ring had lowered and the electricity was turned off. It was once more back to looking more like a stage than a fight ring, which did little to ease my nerves.
Congrats, you happy, stabby little devils, you. And as for Snow White, well, we can all agree it looks better without a soul of bones. Enjoy your new rug, boys. You earned it.
Nice.
Marcus, that was very good.
Well,
Marcus
we really
said,
need more British characters in our books.
Yeah, we should. Steph's got the Brits. We need some Brits.
Sorry.
Marcus said, now lifting a bottle of beer to salute them, taking a large swig of the brown liquid.
Spoils of war and all that. Speaking of which, this brings me to our next act. And boy, Georgie, you are in for a corker tonight, I can tell ya.
He said, now smirking at me over his rising bottle as he downed the rest of it before tossing it to one side, making it erupt into an explosion of glass near the crowd. Although why they cheered at this, I had no clue. But it was like the guy was some kind of celebrity in here or something. Then he threw up his cane once more before catching it and spinning it under his arm. This looked to be his signature move whilst on stage. After this, he nodded towards an opening in the curtain where I was pushed to, and as a spotlight illuminated my frightened face, he used his cane to point it at me before addressing the crowd once more.
We happen to come across Little Red here.
He paused for a dramatic purpose so that he could whisper the rest behind his hand as though he was about to say something shocking.
Who is human?
I frowned at the crowd when they all gasped before an echo of boos and insults were called out.
Boo, human! Boo, human! But Little Red here obviously got lost in the woods without Grandma in sight, and didn't she know?
Again, he took another dramatic pause to whisper to his audience who were lapping up the theatrics.
Down here, there is more than one big bad wolf to play with human bones.
It was at this point that everybody joined in with sickening fun and started howling at the cave ceiling like they were all mimicking a pack of wolves. As for me, I'd had enough and chose this moment to try and break free, pulling all my weight backwards. But it was no use, as the dancers started to crowd around me, pushing me from behind, laughing as they did. As for the man behind it all, he grinned at me before continuing his game.
So, for one night only, I give you the Devil's Ring dancers and their new human pet, their very own Red Riding Hood. Shake things up, girls.
He shouted before dropping to a curtsy as the girls all started taking to the stage, dragging me with them. Each of them were now dressed like sexy wolves, covering all their female assets with real-looking fur. And had it not been for the ears and tails, I would have said they looked more like cave women in ruffle skirts. They snarled and growled like kittens at the crowd, making the males wolf whistle and shout catcalls of a sexual nature to them. Oh, and boy, did they seem to enjoy this, making the most out of being the centre of everyone's attention. As for me, I was still focused on Marcus, begging him with my panicked gaze not to do this. But I knew it was pointless when he raised his head from where he was still bent at the waist and winked at me. Then he rose to his full height and nodded to someone I couldn't see. This was when two more people emerged, adding to the act with the instruments in their hands. A man dressed as a wolf who was definitely a lot less sexy than the whole lot and a whole lot more sinister. This was because he was wearing what looked like a suit made from an actual wolfskin, and the head part was worn as a hat, making me want to gag, as it was still bloody. He carried with him an ornate Spanish guitar, and as for the girl, she carried with her a violin that was soon tucked under her chin as soon as they reached the raised podium, when the band obviously usually played. A quick and furious beat started to play out as the dancers started calling out in tune with the song, and at the same time they started dancing around me in a mocking way. This I don't know what that word is.
This fact.
Right, sorry.
Fucker.
This fact.
It's hard, man. It's a real job, isn't it?
Jesus, why did I write it like this? This fast folk fusion flamenco style.
That is a bit of a.
I know, right?
Alliteration.
To be fair, I didn't write this in thinking I would ever read this, but anyway. Style of music made a really good beat to dance to, and had I not been more terrified, I would have joined in. They were all kicking their legs out and tugging at the length of rope between my shackled hands, that were like ornate handcuffs. This meant that I was pulled one way and then yanked another, making me dizzy as they spun me around. They started to create a story as they made me start to try and get away from them, so they could act as wolves trying to get to me. They would reach out to me with their paw-covered hands as if trying to scratch me, and then growl before dancing away on a spin. Needless to say, I was getting pretty pissed off by this point as they continued to humiliate me in front of the crowd, and I knew that given half the chance, I would have danced rings around these women. But then, what was I talking about? I did have the opportunity. I was on a bloody stage. Fine. If these freaks wanted a show, then I would damn right give them one. So I waited until I knew the song would pick up again to its fastest point, and that's when I started to move, dancing in a way that I knew others would never keep up with. It was a fast enough song that my feet started to move without even asking them to. I was tap dancing and combining it with other moves that had my legs kicking out and spinning around before sweeping low to the floor, barely grazing my toes with the stage. I felt as if I could fly. I was moving so fast, taking great steps around the stage and jumping in the air on whole body spin. I knew it looked both graceful and fierce, combined with the pace of the music. For the first time since my life changed, I felt at peace. I felt at one with the music and completely lost to it, a slave to the notes that were being played so beautifully. I didn't notice the crowd. I didn't notice the others dancing. Nothing around the room that had once been a nightmarish world of horrors. None of it mattered anymore. It was just me, the stage, and the music. And I danced like it was my last. A combination of so many hard things I had learnt over the years. Ballet, modern, expressive dance, along with moves I had mastered where others in my class hadn't. But then suddenly the music was coming to an end, and my last move was the finishing touch on what had been a heart-wrenching experience. Like one last goodbye. I leapt across the stage, spinning and lowering to the ground before bending my body back and lifting my leg straight up over and around, creating a perfect circle of motion before it swept under me as I propelled myself up, so that now had hands in the air with my head thrown back. My hood fell from my head, and I felt the massive curls of my long red hair fall back from my face and cascade down my back. But a few seconds was all it took for my reality to start seeping back into my subconscious, and my situation slapped me across the face the moment I saw that shadow. And just like the dream I'd had on the plane over here, that single shadow was rooted to the spot and staring at me like a hungry wolf. Only this time I had a name to go with that dangerous sight. And this time it wasn't Puppet Master. No, it was Cerberus.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Do you want me to carry on, or do you?
Hey, yeah, no, I'm cool.
As you wish.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
if I do chapter 7, where's chapter 7? I don't. Do I have chapter 7? Maybe I just didn't go down enough. No, I don't have chapter 7.
You're not? Is that not in the same? It is. It's in the same messages that I sent you. You've got 5, 6. Oh, where the fuck's 7?
Yes.
Oh, yes, 7 is there.
Sorry.
It's just not in order.
No. Yes. Sorry. I hadn't opened it properly. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Brilliant.
Anyway, I swear I'm professional. Okay.
Absolutely
Are you
not.
ready to play Jared?
Yes. Oh, right. He's
Yes.
London, isn't he? All right. I can talk like that, innit?
Oh my God, please don't. Please don't give him a Cockney accent.
Why not?
Please. Because I don't have a Cockney accent.
Okay. What sort of English is Jared?
Proper posh.
He's not posh.
No, he's not posh. Just normal.
Just normal.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you.
Just not Cockney. And
Just
he's not
not-
Cockney. And he's not Northern, so he don't speak like that.
No,
He's
he's not Northern. No.
And
Careful,
not
because he's going to be from
He's
Texas
from
in
West
about 2
Wickham.
minutes.
West Wickham. I mean, that's London, isn't it?
It is, but it's not Cockney London.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh God, no. She started already. Okay, right. Let's go. Chapter 7.
So
HellBeast
Ava
King.
starts this one.
Wait. So I is me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I is her. I is
Okay.
you.
Oh God, no.
I muttered on a barely heard whisper, but somehow he'd heard it. I knew it the moment he cocked his head to the side as if he had just picked up the sound on the non-existent breeze or something. Jesus, I would have asked who the hell was this guy, but I knew. Of course I knew. It was him. The one they all seemed terrified of. The one they called the Alpha. The HellBeast King. That's what he had said in my dreams. And now here I was, facing the threat in real life. And I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I could do nothing but take in his terrifying presence and mentally drown by the power he held over me. The dangerous wolf who looked as if he wanted to eat me, to devour me whole and lick his lips and grin the whole time he feasted on me. I could quite easily say that I had never been so terrified in all of my life, and that included the endless minutes I had been trapped in this place. But the entirety of the room, the gruesome and the terrifying, those that I now knew were real, well, they had nothing on him. Nothing. I knew why they called him what they did, because simply put, he was a beast of a man. He was threatening and intimidating and controlling even without needing to move a muscle, something he certainly had an overabundance of. Hell yeah. Sorry.
Whoop, whoop.
Sorry, I couldn't help
This
myself.
is us loving our books. I
Yeah.
approve.
Sorry?
And, we're loving our own books, and I approve. I think that's great.
I know. Oh, I just love that bit. The Jared bit is just yeah, all for that.
Me too.
Just like in my dream, the guy was huge. He looked as if he could crush me with a bear hug, and he was still stood in front of his throne with enough space between us that I knew I could run, that I could try and might still have a chance, which is precisely when my mind became unstuck and it decided that I wanted to live. So despite the silent warning he gave me the second he knew my foolish decision was made, I started backing away slowly. But then, still keeping him in my sights just in case he decided to pounce suddenly, I noticed his handsome face start to change. His scowl deepened into a hard, narrow gaze, as if trying to pin me in place with just a look. I gasped in fright. And then the silent spell that had me entranced. No, I'm not going to say the rest of it like that. Entranced into his wordless trap, vanished with the sound of the crowd going crazy.
Woo!
A crowd that unbelievably were going crazy for me.
Yeah,
a mighty eruption of applause echoed around the cave, and all for my dance. Oh God, this is so funny. I swear, if I hadn't have currently been hunted by their king, I would have allowed myself the moment to relish in my triumph. Despite how much my bones ached, it had all been worth it. Especially when I had a bad feeling it might have been my last, as the intense look he gave me was both deadly and soul-consuming. However, the sound of their admiration didn't only break the spell for me, but for him also, as he was shaken out of his silent claim. The invisible chain snapped, and the hold he had on me was shattered, meaning I did what any sane person would have done. I ran from the wolf. However, after turning around to run, I only made it 4 steps before doing a foolish thing when I heard that demonic growl of anger that had the power to shake the whole place behind me. I looked back. This
Sorry.
Oh, I've never wanted you so much, Blondie.
I know.
Oh, right. I looked back. This meant that I nearly fell forward in an uncoordinated attempt at trying to escape. At the sight of his supremacy was impossible to miss. This was because I'd just caught sight of him as he'd lowered enough in his stance before he launched into motion. I screamed as I saw him power all of his body forward and run like a wild beast would do. This before throwing his weight forward in an astonishing show of strength as he leapt from the VIP platform, clearing the space between his throne and the stage. So in mere seconds, my life was flashing before my eyes. My so foolish life. A foolish life that continued down that path of idiocy as I insanely believed I still had a chance, which was why I turned back to the direction I was headed and continued to run from him, this time doing so to save my life. But that was when I felt it. The immense hum of power behind me, one that nearly had the strength to bring me to my knees. It was like a wall of strength I knew was closing in, and a heartbeat was all I had left with it as it rose to stand behind me. This was before I felt my shackled hands shift, as if the cord attached to them had been caught, something that was proven when I felt myself being tugged violently back, not just stopping me in my tracks, but whipping me around so fast it could have caused whiplash, just like he had done in my dream. But then, just before I fell from the force of it, with the floor being the only place I was headed, I was tugged again. This time it counteracted his strong actions and made me spin straight into my captor's arms. It was in that moment that my entire world came crashing to a standstill, as if this was the most profound moment I had ever experienced so far. This casting what I had thought had been into the shadows, as if I knew nothing before meeting him, as if nothing would ever be the same again, as if my body and heart had never coexisted before this point, as if suddenly my weak respiratory, I can so totally say that word, system wasn't the reason I was trying to claw in breath. By the way, she's kind of sick, so this is why I mentioned about weak bones. And anyway, no, it was all down to him, all down to the beast that now had me held captive in his unyielding hold. Jesus, but I didn't. Sorry, I don't know why I said Jesus like that. Jesus. Praise God. But I didn't think I had ever seen such a powerful, raw, masculine beauty before. And when I did, I never would have thought it would have had the strength to consume me, to render me numb to everything else around me but him. His menacing ruler that I knew commanded his people with an iron fist. The handsome, hard lines of his face said as much. Those molten silver depths that narrowed and seemed to glow at the sight of the fear told me everything. Eyes that would have had the power to hold me prisoner even without the immense strength of his hold. But in that look, there was something more, something I could tell he was trying to hide. Was it surprise, shock at finding a human intruder in his sick and twisted club, or something else? Because I knew he was holding himself back, and no doubt it was stopping him from attacking me outright in front of an audience. Because let's face it, after all I had seen on this stage and around this room, it was clear they were all here for one thing: blood on naked flesh. which made me then question why he hadn't done it already. Why hadn't he just given his people what they wanted yet? My confusion was added to when they all started to chant for the wolf to claim his prize, to claim his little Red Riding Hood.
Chant, 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 chant. I don't know what the chant is. Chant, chant, chant.
It's probably eater, eater, eater. Yeah. Of course, my hood had fallen down and left me with a mass of red curls sticking out in every direction, as I could feel my untamable hair all around me like a halo, one he suddenly seemed fascinated with. In fact, one callous, rough hand reached up, and I held myself so still, like some frightened fawn ready for the sound of a bullet to come tearing through the trees. His silver grey eyes looked down at me, watching my every move, my every reaction, as if he was studying me, willing me to react and please him. He was so tall, so much taller than me, that I only came up to his chest as he towered over a head height above me. But he surprised me further with his movements, as when his movements slowed after I visibly flinched, which was when he finally spoke, and it was a soft rumble of words that held a roughness to them that no matter how softly they were intended. The fact again shocked me in itself, for they weren't the harsh words of a threat or intimidation, but instead ones of comfort.
Easy now, Red.
Oh my God, we're back to him being Texas.
Easy now, Red. I'm trying to go low, but I can't.
That's good. That was good. That was good. Yeah. That's so funny. I'm gonna have dreams of you talking as Jared from now on.
Howdy, Steph.
Easy now, right?
Okay, I swear he could hear the hard lump I swallowed down as if he'd been dropping a pebble in a well of water. In fact, the moment I saw him smirk, I refused to look at his eyes any longer, knowing the power they held over me. So I focused on the other elements of his face, like the trimmed facial hair, those full lips were the center of, hair that tapered down into a full beard ending just past his chin. It matched the long, thick hair that was strange charcoal grey colour and was currently tied back from his chiselled face, one made to look even more frightening by the wicked scar that started at the brow and made a jagged journey down the side of his face before snaking back into his hairline by his jaw. But his face was actually the softest part of him, if that could even be believed, because the rest of him was all solid muscle, starting with his wide shoulders that managed to block out most of the world beyond him. Thick muscled biceps that the leather jacket he wore didn't hide, and those long legs encased in dark denim, screaming out that biker was his choice of style. This was confirmed when he finally reached my hair and took possession of one of my curls, causing my shame to get the best of me. It made me lower my head, finding first his heavy skull and bones belt buckle. My God, that's hard to say. And then further down his heavy biker boots, a pair that looked well worn and only half tied, as if he just couldn't be bothered wasting the time to do them all the way up. Of course, I couldn't help during this journey of discovery to notice the hard ridges of his stomach, just barely seen through the thin material of his dark t-shirt beneath the leather. Jesus, but did this man have a single place on him that was soft, or did the guy just live in the gym? But then again, the idea of him didn't exactly fit either, as it could be more likely put his incredible body down to chopping wood with an axe. Or maybe he too was a fighter and was a regular in the ring, pounding on demonic faces.
Isn't it hard, like, to keep reading? I don't know how narrators do it. Like, I'm in awe of them.
I don't know how they do it as well. I'm so flawless as well.
Yeah. Also, I love this little axe reference, him chopping wood with an axe. I forgot all about it being in book 1 as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, the wood chopping scene. Sorry.
Yes, you did. You're so clever.
I did. I went there. I did. I definitely went there.
There is actually an axe chopping scene, and it's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In one of the later books in this series, it's great.
Yeah, it's quite funny because she pretends she doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has to like wrap his arms around her and show her how to do it. And then she does it flawlessly. So yeah.
Of course.
And then he's quite cocky about it. I couldn't help but shudder at the idea as he took the reason for what it was, fear.
Soft. That's what he said.
I know, it was just the way he said it. Soft.
It's just soft. It's soft.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I told you
Jesus
this
Christ.
would be a normal reading.
Oh my god, this is brilliant. Anyway, soft. Yes, that's soft. He muttered to himself in regards to my hair. Thank God. As if he was surprised.
Oh, it's soft. Oh.
Ooh.
How disappointing. Anyway,
Wow. After all that.
After all that hardness, he's soft.
Can you imagine if that had been the ending? The end.
I know. Soft.
Oh, look how hard his muscles are and his hard body.
It was anticlimactic.
Soft. No, well, never mind then.
Right.
That would have been a well short
Carry
book.
on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Oh, I should write a parody of my own books. It'd be hilarious. I just need to get myself under control.
Breathe.
I know. I'm losing my makeup here. Right.
Anyone got my blue pills? What blue
Sorry?
pills?
What blue pills? Oh, Viagra. Soft.
Oh, I was thinking of some Matrix thing. I'm like, why are we taking the blue pill?
What?
Because like Kerry Morgan's commented on the live saying, anyone got my blue pills? I thought she was on about the Matrix.
Oh, blue
obviously.
pills. Yes.
Yeah.
Soft.
Viagra.
Yeah, that
Not the
makes
Matrix
total
at all.
sense. Not
Danielle, it's really hard to like continue reading like this because your mouth just kind of like gets like weird kind of thing happening.
Weird. Mouth gets weird.
Just doesn't matter. Sorry.
What's the soft? All that
All right,
tongue.
I really want to carry on reading now with my mouth just going crazy.
With your weird mouth.
He muttered to himself. Sorry. Oh, I'm just. No, you brought me another thing. Oh my God, I'm getting really hot.
Right,
Anyway,
come on,
right.
with your weird mouth. I know, I'm sweating my tits off. Honestly, I'm sitting.
Right, okay. Sorry, I'm just crying. I'm just. Right, okay. I'm ready to go.
Sorry, ladies. All right.
Okay. Right. Where was I? He muttered to himself in regards to my hair as if he was surprised, or maybe it was just confirmation he wanted. I just didn't know. I mean, I knew my hair was soft, as my hairdresser usually commented on it, but it wasn't as coarse as it looked, and often surprised people because it was so thick. But then the curls were often soft, weren't they? Oh God! And now I was here in front of this gentle brute questioning my own damn hair. I didn't know how long we were stood here for, but it felt as if we were trapped like this, and time had stopped because of it. It's a shame there wasn't a creaky door in the background.
It's like
I might just write that
what he
bit
was
in.
doing.
Anyway, the creepy door kind of snapped us out of it, and that was it. Sorry, I need to get that fixed. Where was I?
I didn't know how long we were stood here for.
Yes. As it felt like we were trapped like this and time had stopped because of it. But in reality, it couldn't have been more than a few minutes. Yet even that I knew was too long, as I could tell the crowd was becoming shocked that their king hadn't yet got on with the maiming and bloodletting part of claiming his human intruder.
Young and oh so naive.
He said with that rumble to his tone that I could quite easily become addicted to. That is if I had been suicidal, of course.
Please.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you two are really not making this very easy for me.
Yeah. Sorry.
I finally whispered, and the second I said this, I knew I had done something wrong, as suddenly his hand snaked in my curls and tightened before he yanked my head back, so I had no choice but to be forced to look into his eyes.
I was trying to go.
Oh my God, how long is that? It's 3 M's, people. it's only 3.
The first didn't work as well as it did in my head. In my head, it did a really good.
Right,
But it didn't work.
Because I would have just done a
Well, I just thought that the listeners might have just thought that I'd just gone crazy, and Jared's there going,
Now I must admit, I do like the sound of that word coming from those tempting lips of yours. Shame then that they came from a human.
He snarled this last part, and I flinched back, or at least tried to, but he tightened his hold on me. His other hand was held at my waist, and my fingers flexed hard enough to make me, whimper. But that little moan couldn't be helped, as I knew his hold would leave bruises. But this wasn't because of his intent to harm me, but more an after effect on my defective body. I wasn't like most humans he would have known. I was 1 in 100,000 after all. No, I would not think about that right now. I would not think of the pain dancing would cause me, because I knew nothing would be more painful than being forced to watch. As the days went by, those bruises would fade, and the memory of his touch would leave my skin, as if this night never happened, and what a freak it made me to admit that I didn't want that. Not now, not after him. But then I had to remember what the others had said. I had to remember all those warnings. This beast didn't like humans, and I swear I had never wished to be anything but human in that moment. Just anything that would have made this wolf want me. And yes, it was official. I was broken, insane, lost, which is what I decided to tell him. Sorry. My bad.
I'm just lost, so please, just don't.
I paused when a small growl vibrated from his chest, and I held it in my toes.
What?
He snapped, and I flinched again and closed my eyes before telling him.
Don't eat me.
I whispered, making him suddenly chuckle, and my eyes snapped open as he growled down.
No woman ever, by the way.
He sounds like a pirate.
Don't eat me. Yeah, do eat me. Eat me. Eat me.
Eat me.
Please eat me. I mean, don't eat me.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't eat me.
Oh no! Look, my legs just fell open. They always do that. Don't worry about it.
Always do that.
Sorry, Gary. Oh, is it me?
I make no such promise, my lost little red.
Oh, yeah. Then, as my mouth dropped open in shock, he suddenly let me go. And just as I was about to take a step back, thinking this was my true answer, I shrieked out in surprise. He wasn't letting me go at all. No, he was just making me making his next move. One that started with him ducking his large body and planting his wide shoulder in my belly before tossing me up and over like a fireman.
Ava? Brunette?
Yeah.
Ah!
I did. Did you not hear me?
No.
Oh, I did.
Sorry.
Ah!
It's a bit anticlimactic now.
Oh no.
I shouted as he stormed over to the edge of the stage and jumped from it like he had a feather pillow over his shoulder and not a 5'2" girl that was now utterly blinded by hair and leather. So should we leave it at that?
We can do, yeah. Although there is literally a page and a half left.
There's only a tiny amount on here. Okay, we'll keep going. At this, the crowd went wild. Yay! Cheering for the king, and I had no other choice but to hold on, gripping a fistful of his jacket and praying that with every step he took, it wouldn't be my last. That the very real threat of this handsome, harsh beast wasn't about to end with the sight of my blood spilling over his skin under some full moon. Of course, I had very little faith in this hope for my future that didn't include me taking my last breath, especially when I suddenly found myself being dragged up and then down the length of his huge body. This was before I was walked backwards until a wall was felt at my back and I had nowhere else to go. I was trapped, even more so with each step he took. He wrapped the length of the rope in between my bound hands, tighter and tighter around his fist. Then, when there was little left, he lifted it above my head, meaning that my hands had no choice but to move with it. Soon enough, I was trapped, not only with his large, intimidating body against me, but also by having my hands pinned above my head, like some virginal sacrifice.
What are you going to do with me?
I asked with fear, making my voice wobble. Wobble? Sorry. Something he liked the sound of if the smirk was anything to go by, which was when he leaned closer, dipping his head down so he could whisper in an amused tone.
What do you think I'm going to do with you, Red? After all, you can hear the crowd, and I am what they say I am.
What's that?
His eyes sparkled with amusement before he told me.
I am the HellBeast King and guardian of the gates of hell. And unfortunately for you, little human.
He paused, so his next words were said against my cheek.
You just wandered into my own brand of hell.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Oh, God, I'm exhausted.
Exhausted. But did you notice we both had scenes there with tied up hands and they both ended very
same thing. We're like, damn, ropes.
I know. What are the chances? Yeah. Although I have to say, if I could pick which one I want to be in.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked ours either.
Yeah. You had the villain.
You had the villain. You had the villain scene.
Yeah.
But no. Well, yeah.
Well, good. That.
Oh my God, I haven't laughed like that in so long.
I've got my cheeks ache.
Oh my God, that was so funny. That was so much fun.
It was. It's good.
Carrie. Woohoo.
Oh yeah, Kerry enjoyed it. Pat enjoyed it. Kathy's laughing.
Oh good.
Yeah.
Oh good. That's fabulous. Yay. Oh my gosh.
Love it. Well, that was brilliant. We have kept you though for over 2 hours.
That's okay.
Which you know what? In less than an hour and a half, you've got your own life.
I know. Well, do you know what? I don't know how anything's going to top this. I mean, you know, yeah, it's usually just me by my lonesome rambling on. And,
lonely, so lonely.
Well, Pat, we actually do this almost every week.
So does Steph.
But with Steph, this is our first and hopefully not our last.
Oh my God, no! if you guys will have me back, I would love to come back. This has been so much fun. It really has.
Yay!
Excellent. Well, because we're working through the rich one at the moment, so we'll let you know when we get on to the next one.
Oh, awesome. No, I've loved every minute, ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Oh my God. Like I said, you guys are just hilarious. It's so funny. So thank you.
And we're going to see you very, very soon in July.
I know. In June.
In July?
Well, what's happening in
June? Yes. Oh, fuck yeah. We'll see you. I will see you in June. I forgot all about that.
Hudfest.
The Hudfest.
It's a Hudson festival. We've got glamping and camping, and obviously I'm glamping, not camping.
Line dance lessons.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds so amazing.
I actually choreographed our Wild Wild West show that my amateur dramatics group did, which was a lot of line dancing. So,
oh my God, you can teach us line dancing then.
Fuck off. I'll join in, but I won't teach nothing.
I think that was a no.
I can do all the moves to 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an easy one to teach.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, we may start off with that one then.
Yeah, this is why she has a Southern Texas accent. It's the line dancing.
Well, we've got the band dance the next day, so we've got to be ready for the band dance. I hate the way I say band dance. Band dance.
Band. It's a band.
Band.
I'll brush up on 5, 6, 7, 8 ready to teach you then, because that's easy.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yay,
Kathy says that it's been a blast.
Kathy Quinn is that the right Kathy that is the new Hudson?
Kathy Cheney.
Oh, different Kathy.
Different Kathy.
Lovely.
But yeah, so I'll see you in June, which will be amazing. I cannot wait.
And then I'll see you in July.
Yes, in
I'll
my
be there.
hometown.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. I believe we are being tabled together, so that would be fun.
Yay! And it's just before my birthday as well. So
yay!
And it's just after 9, so drinks.
We'll have to do like a double celebration. I think my actual birthday is on the Sunday, so it'll be the Saturday.
Oh, well, we've already got a table booked for the Saturday, and Jen has already picked out some places that do great cocktails and have dancing and shit. And so
awesome, brilliant. Yeah,
we're on it.
Yay!
On it like a car bonnet.
Yes, on it like a car bonnet.
Yes.
It's on like donkey kong.
Thank you to everyone who was with us tonight. We always appreciate y'all being here with us.
We do.
And Stephanie Hudson, amazing. It was great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. I'll be going live in my group in about an hour and a half.
Yeah. In an hour and 1 hour and 35 minutes if you're sticking to your 9 o'clock Canada time.
Yes, that's right. It just gives me enough time to quickly eat something.
Yeah, have another pee, all the things. Right, so we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to play our exit, and then we will no longer be live.